As in panic I tried to get up, only cracking more of the ice. I started hyperventilating, and could feel the weight of my clothes drag me down. This is it. I'm dying out here. How fucking ironic. Trying to celebrate my dad's life. I'll die myself. After some time, hard to say how long. It all felt like an eternity. My feet slowly lost their ability to move. I thought to myself, just give up. No one will help you. And just as I said the last word of that phrase inside my head, I saw it, the death dealer. Then the death dealer gave me cool powers and I got a black diamond sword and the ability to kill anyone when I feel like it. I can shoot fire and do front flips really high. Being revived by death is so cool. My fan FIC don't steal was huge. I'm sure it was taller than 7 feet. I couldn't really tell the details from where I was, laying almost dead from hypothermia in the water. My mind was clouded. A long and gray or white hand gently reached out to me. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to fucking die. Grabbed the hand with all the strength I could muster. The thing lifted me up, as if I was lighter than a feather, gently putting me down on the ground. No, I could see it, with every detail. At first I thought it was an angel. My guardian had come to save my life, for it was not my time. But no, this was no angel, not at all. It was tall, as I mentioned, above 7 feet. It was completely white/gray. It had huge black eyes, looked like a couple of oversized marbles. A thin black lip, stretching from cheek to cheek, no hair, no nose, or any human features really. This creature just looked at me, and then, it smiled. The mouth on this thing, it was fucking terrifying. The teeth, was long as needles, and even darker than its eyes, standing out in all directions. And a blood-red tinge, hidden far back into its jaw. LT also had spikes standing out here and there, but not spikes sticking out from its skin, but spikes that looked to be a part of its body. What the fuck are you? I screamed while crying, confused and filled with fear to the core. Its mouth didn't move, but this dark, but gentle voice entered my head, as if it was speaking directly into my mind. Arachiel. Now, I've googled and searched for answers. This name apparently is the name of a fallen angel in Christianity. I don't believe much in religion, but I don't really know, guys. I'm still scared shitless. The story doesn't end here though. I couldn't move. I was cold as the water I just fell into. Every sense the human body has. Screamed to run. Run as fast as you can. Run. I could not, even if I wanted. My body stayed there, in the shadow of Arachiel. The same voice as before trembled trough my head, this time not as gentle, more like the sound of thunder. It was strong. Do you wish to die? What? No. I don't want to fucking die. Get away from me. I panicked. I could not open my mouth. I could not speak. I could almost not breathe. Very well, said Arachiel. Sorry guys. Something came up. I had to go. Sorry for being an ass. I will continue now. My body started warming up. I swear I could feel the ice melting from my skin and clothes. It was like an explosion of heat beneath my skin. Arachiel lifted its twisted hand towards the forest. It did not need to tell me twice. My body could finally move again, and boy I ran. I ran so fucking fast. The snow was as deep as before, but it didn't affect my current speed. I swear I beat some type of world record as I bolted through the forest. I wasn't sure what to expect though. I just wanted to get away from that thing. It was so out of this world. Nothing I have ever heard about or seen before. At that point, I only accepted the fact that I was alive, and that Arakiel saved me out of kindness, but I could never have been more wrong. After running for a long time, I could feel the forest loosen up, not quite as thick and dense as before. And there I saw my glorious stallion, the snow scooter, covered in snow, almost invisible, but I saw it. I jumped on. I started it up and headed back to my mother's house. My mom sitting in my father's old chair, crying, was the first thing I saw, then my neighbors and the local police officers. "Where the hell have you been, Anon?" my mother said, then hugged me as if it was the last time she hugged me. "You have some explaining to do," said one of the officers. I sat down, and explained the whole story, except the part about Arakiel. "Thank God, you're alive, son. In this cold weather most men would have died after breaking through a frozen lake like you did." God, I toughed to myself. God has nothing to do with this creature in the woods. There was something sinister about it all. The police officers and the neighbors left. My mother went to bed, and so did I. Before finally getting a good night rest, I took a last look out the window in my old room, second floor. And there it was, standing, not quite tall enough to reach my window, but its face was looking straight at me. "Speak or write down my name, and what has been given, will be taken. You have a debt to pay." The same voice as before, as powerful and clear as a presidential speech. This sentence is burned into my memory, and I pray to God that writing this won't put me in any kind of trouble. And then it vanished. Where, you probably ask? I don't know, it just fucking disappeared into the dark night. Now, to this day, I have met with Arakiel several times, in my dreams and in life. I'm not quite sure what to do. My mother fell creature, and once again it approached me, asking if I wanted her to die or live. I of course said I wanted my mother to live, and not long after, the sickness were gone, as if she just healed it away in one night. I fear I have taken choices which is not mine to take, and I fear for my life and soul if we really have a soul. This death dealer seems to prevent life from being taken away, but I'm certain it can take life too. It is as if Arakiel is using me only as a vessel to fulfill the creature's purpose, to seal deals with it so that it can take the souls of whom it has a deal with when we die. That's why I fear my life. My mother's life, and all the other lives I've had the chance to save or let go, will ultimately fade away when I do. I am now 24 years old. I hope to live long, but I'm not sure. As Arakiel is always watching me, waiting in the darkness. The bar I work at is haunted. I don't really believe the stories, but I find them interesting nonetheless. Most of them are pretty bland though. A guy goes to the bathroom and sees a man taking a piss in one of the stalls, doesn't hear anything, just sees the guy's feet. After he finishes up, he glances back at the stall and there's nobody there. Just little things like that. Another one I've heard a lot is when people are starting to get quite drunk, they'll see a nun sitting next to them. She doesn't say anything, but it usually makes them stop drinking. Obviously, since it's a bar, I tend to chalk this up to people being very drunk and open to suggestion. The ghost stories are kinda known. But recently a barback told me one. This guy was straight-laced, didn't drink at all, and only worked there for a couple of months because he hated the atmosphere. One night after closing, he was helping the bartender clean the bar. Bartender steps out for a smoke. Barback is behind the bar, sanitizing the well, when he gets an eerie feeling and happens to glance up. There's a man sitting opposite him at the bar, staring angrily at him. The barback is looking into the guy's eyes when he fades away. Not disappears, but fades, as though he melted into the background. Again, I don't really believe it, but the guy seemed genuine. Here's another longer one that I believe even less, but it happened just recently, so I'll share it. A fellow bartender was out for a smoke on the sidewalk and a homeless guy asked him for a cigarette. Long story short, the bartender ends up hiring the homeless guy to clean the bathrooms for $10 a day. Homeless guy's name was Derek. He was a great worker. He'd always be out there on the front stoop waiting on me to open up the place. Then he'd clean the bathrooms and mop the floors without saying a word. I'd pay him $10, and he'd leave. But one day I showed up at the bar and the door was already unlocked. Derek was inside sitting on the couch waiting for me. I asked him how the hell he got in and said the place was unlocked before he showed up. Nothing was stolen. The closing bartender insisted he locked the door before he left. Tell the owner, but he just seems happy nobody stole anything. This happens 3 separate times. Since nothing is ever missing, the owner refuses to fix the security cameras. They don't work. The owner is very shitty with money, BTW. Anyway, last week, we're about to get hit with a winter storm, the one that knocked out the power grid here in Texas. It's Saturday and Derek's waiting out front, shivering. I ask him if he has a place to stay and he says he does. Okie dokie. Once Monday rolls around, people are losing power all over the place. Since I live basically down the street from the bar, the owner tells me to see if the bar lost power. Thanks a lot, dickhead. I drive by and it looks fine. But I get out and run inside to check on everything. I find the door unlocked and Derek on the couch wrapped in a thick blanket. These blankets are kept in a basement that's always locked. The power is on, so it's warm, but Derek is shaking like he just got in from the cold. I ask him if he's okay and how he got inside. He said he was sleeping on the stoop when some lady opened the door and let him in. He curled up on the couch and felt someone put a blanket on him. Then I showed up.